Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a proven framework showing how creators are literally generating massive wealth right now during this whole AI revolution. I mean, we're right in the middle of a massive technological shift, right? Big companies are laying off thousands of employees. But at the exact same time, everyday people are building incredibly profitable one-person businesses. So how are they actually doing it? Well, spoiler alert, we are absolutely not talking about just churning out automated AI slop. Instead, we're diving into the actual data and proven strategies from top creators. We'll see exactly how you can leverage YouTube authority to sell high-ticket services and build a completely uncopyable personal brand. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We've got 1. The AI Gold Rush myth. 2. Choosing a profitable niche. 3. Maximizing your ad revenue. 4. High-ticket sales versus courses. And finally, 5. Your 30-day action plan. Let's just dive right in. Section 1. The AI Gold Rush myth. I actually want to start by asking you a pretty fundamental question about how money was made during the most famous gold rush in history. So, in the legendary 1849 gold rush, who do you think actually got rich? The really obvious answer seems to be the miners, right? The people out there physically digging in the dirt. But historically, that is just dead wrong. The vast majority of miners actually went completely broke, dying poor, exhausted, and, well, probably of dysentery. So, if not the miners, then who? Well, while the miners went bust, it was the merchants and the newspaper storytellers documenting the rush who built absolute empires. You've probably heard that the people selling the picks, the shovels, and the denim pants, like Levi Strauss, made all the real money. But there's actually a tier above even the pick and shovel sellers, and that's the storytellers. The newspaper guys, the promoters, the folks writing the books on how to get rich. They were the ones who controlled the narrative, captured the attention, and ultimately monetized the whole shebang. And you know what? This exact pattern repeats itself across history. Back in 1999, hundreds of millions of venture dollars completely vaporized when the dot-com bubble burst, but the tech bloggers, the writers at Wired magazine, they monetized their attention for decades after that. Fast forward to today, in our current AI boom. University studies are showing that a staggering 95% of generative AI pilot programs fail to deliver any real business value. The people who are actually winning right now are the transparent storytellers on YouTube. They're the ones documenting the tools, showing you exactly what works, and surviving the chaos. Section 2. Choosing a profitable niche. Now that we know documenting your journey is the secret sauce, let's figure out how to find the exact highly profitable topic you should actually be talking about. You really can't just pick something at random and cross your fingers. You need to find your ikigai. That's the Japanese framework that basically ensures you don't burn out while you're building a lucrative personal brand. To find your AI side hustle, you have to find that sweet spot, the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what you can get paid for, and what the world actually needs. Whether that's a skill you already picked up at your 9-to-5 or something you want to learn over the next few months, balancing your personal passion with real market demand is exactly how you build a rock-solid foundation.
But keep in mind, not all niches are created equal, especially when we're talking about YouTube AdSense. If you look at the data, a general storytelling channel might only pay, say, $3 to $8 per thousand views. But if you pivot to something like dark business history, think mini documentaries about corporate scams, that jumps way up to $15 to $30. And if you lean into AI tech tools and predictions, now you're looking at $25 or more per thousand views. So you really want to use this rubric to pick a niche that perfectly balances your ikigai, passion, with those super high-paying CPMs.
Section 3. Maximizing your ad revenue. Once you've locked in that high-paying niche, we need to look at the mechanical structure of your content to really optimize your baseline income. And honestly, it all comes down to a specific magic number that every single successful creator programs into their content strategy, the number 8. It might seem completely random, but this one single digit is literally the difference between a side hustle that barely pays for a cup of coffee and one that actually covers your rent. Here's why. Crossing that crucial 8-minute threshold unlocks mid-roll ads, drastically increasing your YouTube AdSense payouts. Seriously, it multiplies your revenue without requiring a single extra view. If your video is under 8 minutes, you're stuck with just a pre-roll ad at the start and a post-roll ad at the end. But the second you cross into that 8-minute territory, even if it's literally just 8 minutes and 1 second, YouTube lets you drop ads right in the middle of your content. By structuring your scripts to have little mid-video cliffhangers or natural pauses just past that 8-minute mark, you keep your viewers hooked and completely maximize the ad revenue from the exact same amount of free traffic. Section 4. high-ticket sales versus courses.
Ad revenue is awesome, for sure, but it is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to monetizing an audience once you've captured their attention and earned their trust. Let's compare the traditional advice to reality. You've probably seen tons of videos pushing you to sell cheap digital products like $10 Etsy templates or low-ticket courses. The problem with that? AI does all the heavy lifting now, which means the barrier to entry is literally zero. 1,000 other people can copy your exact template tomorrow. There's just no defensible moat. But on the flip side, transitioning your free video traffic into high-ticket AI consulting, that completely changes the game. One creator basically just documented her journey learning AI automation, and within weeks, she landed her first client on a $3,300 monthly retainer. You're selling a premium, deeply trusted service and relationship, rather than fighting in a race to the bottom over a cheap digital product.
And this really proves the massive difference in your revenue ceiling. Low-ticket templates are, like I said, a race to the bottom. Faceless channels relying purely on AdSense? Great passive income, but it definitely has a cap. But look at that massive jump when you step into high-ticket brand consulting. That is where the magic happens. By acting as the face of your business on YouTube, you build an incredible amount of trust. When businesses need an AI-powered service, like script writing or automation, they don't want some faceless entity or a generic $20 course. They want the trusted expert they've been watching and learning from for months. Your content is basically doing all the selling for you. Which brings us to a huge realization. The brand is your insurance policy. This is an asymmetric bet. Think about it. Let's say you launch an AI agency. The market shifts, and the specific service totally fails. If you were just building quietly in the dark, you are back to square one. But if you documented that entire journey on YouTube, your absolute floor is that you now have an engaged audience of, say, 20,000 people who know and trust you. You can easily pivot that into consulting, brand deals, or advising. The personal brand is the ultimate moat that AI just cannot replicate. And the ceiling? Generational wealth.
Section 5. Your 30-day action plan.
Let's bring this powerful philosophy down to earth and get you a concrete framework to start executing literally today, even if you have a full-time job and zero experience. It's a remarkably simple daily routine. Step 1. Work on your chosen AI project for just 15 minutes. Learn a tool, build an automation, whatever fits your ikigai. Step 2. Pull out your phone and record a raw, unedited video diary explaining what you learned or what totally flopped. Step 3. Publish that long-form video straight to YouTube. And step 4, syndicate that exact same video to LinkedIn and X. You're taking one raw piece of content and using it to feed multiple platforms with absolutely no fancy camera gear or expensive editing software required. Now you might be wondering why this hybrid method wins out over total automation. Well, it's because you act as the human pilot, while AI is just the autopilot. Honestly, even the top AI gurus who constantly preach about total automation, they still show their real faces on camera. They know that transparent human connection is the ultimate insurance policy. Think of AI like an airplane's autopilot. It can do 90% of the heavy lifting mid-flight, but you absolutely need a human pilot for takeoff and landing. You have to be that pilot. Your audience does not want overproduced perfection or high-production AI slop. They want to see a real person making real progress. Transparency completely beats perfection. This method lets you leverage AI speed while building that uncopyable business asset, your brand.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on as you navigate the greatest technological shift of our lifetime. The tools are already here. The frameworks are proven. So are you going to quietly mine in the dark, just hoping your specific app or template doesn't get copied by 1,000 other people tomorrow? Or are you going to become the storyteller, building an uncopyable personal brand that turns your journey into absolute generational wealth? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.